Hey, Mama, you're listening to the Money Hungry Mama podcast, the place where moms come to build profitable, purposeful businesses during nap time and beyond. I'm Brittany Plumeri, and before we jump in, join our free Money Hungry Mama community on Facebook. It's full of women building big dreams between diaper changes and deadlines. Come find your people, search the Money Hungry Mama community, or links in the show notes. Let's get into it. Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Money Hungry Mom podcast. I am so excited because I have Staci here tonight. Staci, take it away.
I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
So tell us all about Pop Up and Play New Jersey.
Okay, so it has come a long way as far as my vision and where it's going, maybe, and where it's been. I grew up in Toms River, New Jersey. I moved away for college and never moved back until 15 years later. After my husband and I had our daughter on like the outskirts of the COVID shutdown. So we are already 4 hours away from all of our family. And then we had her and also felt even more far, like more isolated. So then we finally, about 2.5 years after we like decided we wanted to move, we pulled it off. And when I moved back, I like made a pact to myself. I swear to God, that's true. I was like, I am going to make friends. I am going to be a mom that like loves motherhood. Because for so long I teach kids kindergarten through 8th grade. And I'm obsessed with kids and I'm obsessed with teaching. And like motherhood hit me and I was like, I don't like this. Like,
Yeah.
that's also like not my personality to not like motherhood. So that was like this whole identity crisis. So when I moved back, I was like, I need to like throw myself into people that have kids
Yeah.
because I think the loneliness for me was so confusing that I guess I know I'm very social, but I think like, canceling plans and not really having any, like getting anxious about doctor's appointment. Is she going to be whiny then? It was like all encompassing. So when I moved back, I had made myself a pact like, okay, I'm going to meet people. And then I was like, okay, but like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So I like, as silly as this sounds and as like spiritual-esque, in a sense, I was like, how can I like be of service? Like, what am
Yeah.
I good with? Like, what am I good at? What can I like bring to the table? So I literally just posted on my stories of Instagram because I knew some random people. I moved away again 14 years later. I knew people in the area of acquaintances.
Yeah.
So I posted on the story. I was like, who wants to meet at park tomorrow? I will lead like kid movement and songs because I'm a gym teacher. And I have a 2.5-year-old. If you want to meet me, I had like 5 random friends who knew me.
Yay!
Really showed up and I was just like, the weirdest of them. And like this teddy bear game, like, and I mean, I prepared it enough to like hope that people would
Good.
show up. And that is actually how it went. So then I just did weekly meetups, like as sporadic as that. Like on Tuesday, I'd be like, tomorrow for Wednesday. And then it got cold. And then one of the moms was like, by the way, I own a yoga studio. Do you want to come and use my space? I was like,
Yeah.
let's keep this show going. So we kept doing them monthly, like January, February. And then it got nicely out again. So these were all free and they were just like weekly cuts. Weekly was honestly going pretty long, but then they got like kind of monthly. Spring took off. Weekly again, all free, just like songs, dances, and then we hung out at playgrounds. And then summer, I went back to the yoga studio and did my first series. And then, interestingly enough, I like took off because I got a full-time job
Wow.
finally because I had been teaching in Maryland and hadn't gotten a
Yeah.
job full-time here. So that's why I had time to do the play dates. So I actually just like cold turkeyed Instagram and was like, you know what? Like, I have a full time job. Let me put my heart and soul into my actual, like, real passion, which is teaching kids. Which
Yeah.
now looking back, the play dates were totally hitting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just interesting how, your brain kind of like, I think your brain sometimes craves the 9 to 5, if you will,
Yeah.
stability. So to me, I was like, I need to put off social media and really put time in. I cold turkeyed it. And then I literally just like, what are those things called? Like hard launch?
Yeah.
Wait. So this is the reason I'm sharing this, honestly, Brittany, is because I think people are scared to take pauses when needed.
Yeah.
And I think this is actually learning. And like something I think should be brought to the table on if people want to like start their own thing, but they're nervous about timelines, you can always give it a break and come back. Like, if it's truly in your heart and you want to do something, you actually will. So, to make the joke again, to like wrap it up, I like hard launched another random play date come spring of that first year, this past spring, and just said, hey, like Caddis Island. And then took that momentum of me just like breaking the, hey, I was gone for the whole school year. And then we just kicked him off. And then now I've been like really consistent, been partnering with like as many people that will like want a circle time or a movement class. And that's basically like, that's like the big backstory, I guess.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're rewinding because there's so many things I want to bring up. So first off, I want to applaud you for saying that you didn't like motherhood in the beginning. I think that's
Mm.
something that's very sugar coated for a lot of people, and I will always say that like everybody's always like, "Oh, how hard is 3?" I'm going to tell you, not as hard as having 1. To go from 0 kids to 1, I think was the hardest out of all of them just because you were so selfish up until that point. Like you were able to go I remember going to the what is it called? I remember the mail place, the post office. And I literally was like, oh my gosh, crying in the parking lot because I didn't want to wake him up. But I had this mail and it's like, what was I going to do? Like, I had to bring the whole entire car seat with me inside. It was like a whole thing. And I just think, you hit a season in the beginning, but at the same exact time, like, you obviously found yourself. I think the way you worded it was great that you didn't like motherhood in the beginning because you were isolated, you were alone, you were so far away from everybody. And I definitely like thank you for saying that because I love how this podcast gets so raw and real for all of us to understand. And I think I just wanted to say that because that
Yeah,
was
thank you. Thank you for like highlighting it and making it sound super like normal.
it is. I think we all
Yeah,
go through a
sometimes you think
phase
you're
of
right.
just being sad and being like, "Oh, I'm feeling alone." Like it's not that we anything against our children. Our children are alive.
Mm,
We're literally obsessed with them. But when you're stuck in 4 walls all the time and you and like you said, you didn't have friends. You didn't have people to talk to. You didn't
right.
have that community.
Yes,
This is why motherhood with community is so wildly important because we
totally.
can feel so alone. And that's why.
I would love to add something that like I found that hopefully people can relate to is like I think this can be taken two ways, but hopefully it'll be taken one way. I think when you're with people,
Mhm.
whether you're opening up about a dark place or whether you're just showing up, I do think there's such power in making yourself show up as your best version.
Yep.
So that kind of went to my like, what can I do of service question to myself. It's like when I'm with people, I am my best version. And that can to some like people that think that's fake. I think that's the two ways I feel like you could be like, oh, that's fake. You're being a chameleon. You're just like going with everyone. But I see it as like when I'm with people, I'm like finally like, okay, wait, I'm like, how can I like listen to these people and how can I like connect with these people? And I'm so much more, I guess, my true self, which
Yeah.
is social and like happy. And I will tell everybody the raw. I will like show my nipple breastfeeding. Like I don't care about that. I don't care. But like I think you show up in a social setting differently than in your rocking chair.
For
I just
sure.
yeah. So that self esteem like together is just so much more powerful.
Yeah, for sure. And, like you said, like doing of service, I think you're not alone in that thought. I mean, that was definitely something that came behind the money hungry mama. It was like, I have been through so many struggles. How can I help these moms? How
So
can I help who I was 10 years ago? And then now, fast forward to the part where you said taking a break. Love that. So, I originally had a blog called The Money Hungry Mama in 2017. And it
okay. Oh my
just
gosh.
was not the right time. It was not, even though I was helping these moms and I tried close to 30 side hustles and I'm trying to tell them how to do them all. It just wasn't the right time or the space. And now full circle moment. And it's like, okay, here we are in 2025. And the money hungry mama is thriving and it's a huge community of moms. And it's just like, I think exactly what you said. If your passion is behind it, it's okay to take a break and come back even
Yeah.
stronger.
If I could literally tell myself even a year ago, like it's
Mhm.
2017, I can't believe that made me laugh out loud because like so many things change. I'm sure you see it differently because I see Instagram change when I think back to making those little stories.
Yep.
I'm like, you look back at the font and I like made it all sorts of color.
I know.
Anyway, it just it's crazy how that gives me such good, like, perspective and patience now, I will say. Every event and I, like, talk to people in the area, who do, like, similar, like, side community-based projects, or meet with moms or, host events, I should say, and they're all really wonderful. Like, my biggest that's, like, my biggest I don't even know if it's advice. Like my biggest thing is like, don't worry about the timing. Like
Yeah,
truthfully, and you can use that as like a crutch. And I don't intend on it to be like, oh, take a break. You don't need it. But it's gonna like we are all gonna still be here. Yes, Instagram might look different, or people might be making more reels, more stories. But at the end of the day, like you want to be true to yourself first.
for
And
sure.
social media is hard in that. Are you scrolling more than creating? Are you connecting with people, or are you getting anxious with like looking at and that's kind of what it was starting to become. It was like, okay, I'm going to start this full-time job. I also have a toddler and like I have, some hobbies of my own that I need to keep like walking outside, without technology. And I have like, friends. So it's like, where did social media fit there?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, to be honest.
Yeah. No, it's honestly like it is really hard, especially in the beginning with social media. And that's why, I always make this joke of especially new moms that are like, oh, I don't know where to fit in the time. It's sit down and I want you to record everything you do in a day. From from when you wake up to when you go to bed, and I want you to clock it. How much of that time do you already spend scrolling? Or
Mm,
binge watching your TV, and, like, we all need those things, right? We all need
sure.
those releases, and I'm not saying we don't, but if you're telling me you really wanna do something, I'm gonna tell
Hmm.
you there's time to do it.
For sure. Oh, yeah.
No one's forcing anybody to do anything, but if you're like, "Brittany, I really wanna do it," cool, show me your layout of your week,
Yes.
and you will see the time.
Do you find and, like, this is a little bit please feel free, you're the host, like, to guide me back, honey. Do you think this is interesting? I also feel like sometimes that is just a mindset where they're looking at someone's start line. They think that they've put years you just said 2017, sweet girl. Oh my god. What were we all doing in 2017? I didn't even have my daughter. So, for example, what I'm saying is that they're looking at your podcast and they're like, these people you're interviewing people from all over or New Jersey or here that it doesn't need to be that way. And no one starts like that. Like, no one. So, that's an interesting, you can not like numb out, but like hit yourself into a dead end thinking you can't when really it's like you can't because you're comparing with step one with someone's step 10.
Exactly.
And that's hard.
It is, and it definitely and that's where social media comes into the play of doing what the heck is the word I'm looking for? Imposter syndrome, right? Because
Correct.
that's
Good.
exactly
Yes.
what and I find myself in it all the time. There are communities that are built that I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I wish I was like that." But hey, they have been started since 2015. This was
Oh,
an
yeah.
idea in 2017. And I think, like you said, nothing is linear. Just because, you have a pop-up and play. Let's say somebody else in Arizona listening right now has a pop-up and play. Just because you both are the same thing doesn't mean it's going to lead to the same path. It's going
Yes.
like everybody gets pulled in differently. Who
Hmm.
gets pulled in differently. So I just think in general, if for everybody that's listening right now to us and is like, "Oh my gosh, I'm resonating so much
Yes.
with this."
Yes.
It's because it's true. There's no I wish I could tell you that here is the clear-cut plan of
For real.
start A to B and all the people that you should talk to. No, that everybody's different. Everybody's personality is different. Everybody's, you know,
Yes.
dream of their business is different.
Yes,
So I think it really comes down to staying true and authentically to
for
you
sure.
because
And
that's what
also
it
just
is.
like realizing that you can be both.
Yeah.
You can be, and it's not fake. Like you can be, doing your things,
Mhm.
posting your stories, even having successful quote unquote podcasts or events, and still, what you just admitted, having that like, am I still doing the thing?
Yeah. No, 100%. I don't even think to this day, like, you could tell me, Jennifer Aniston, love her since forever. She definitely has days where she's feeling it now, like,
Hmm.
everybody, even at the top of the top, there's no way they're not feeling a day of being, like, just second
Yeah.
guessing or whatever, because then I feel like, meh, you're not human. So,
Yeah. No,
it's just
for
an
sure.
emotion that we have.
So to bring it honestly back to like the pop up and play or
Yeah.
play, it's so crazy how this like even account, if you scroll and you don't have to go that far, like I don't. Anyway, I was going to start like a my I called it pop up and play or something. My first post is that I was gonna make a kids curriculum, like, and I didn't
My God.
delete it. By the way, I did not delete it. I just stuck because I knew we were gonna talk. I'm gonna be transparent. I was like, wow, like, I wonder like what year, because you know how you blend it all in your
Yeah.
brain. Let's be honest. So I like just scroll back and I was starting to share how to make things for moms kid friendly because I'm so passionate about like movement and health, and that's why I love phys ed teaching and like how to make messaging more kid friendly. So I started there and I like just was like, oh, hey, 5 ways to tell like your kid to like move without shaming them into exercise. That's how it started. And then I was like, I don't, this is so silly. I felt like that was a good idea, but it didn't feel, it felt very forced. I had to think, now granted, I plan a lot for the play dates, but it feels so energetic and fun.
Yeah.
But I forced, meaning like I was scared and I didn't know what to like say next. What would people
Yeah.
want? And then all of a sudden I was like, what do I actually like? I really just want to like connection and people. And instead of telling them what to say, how about like we just role model it and like here we
Yeah.
are and just be authentic and be ourselves and be be in it together. So then that's like it's funny as you look, then all of a sudden that's where like okay, have everyone let's like do a play date. And then those were so like my heart and soul were like literally on fire.
Yeah.
Like on Sunday, this weekend, I just had my last play date and I texted my friend, I was like, that might have been the best play date ever. For no reason. I think I say that every single time. It was like like 6 kids. I don't care. I've never actually canceled one because I'll show up for one child, and I just don't care, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh," for different reasons. It was like that was just the best play date ever. I don't know what yeah, I don't think I, like, connected my dots there, but here we are. It's
No,
just
you
it's
did.
evolved. It's evolved. It's been so weird and, like, oh, that's where I was gonna go. I jumped from, like, the ideas behind health and wellness and movement and kid friendly to from the curriculum to the play dates and then from the play dates to maybe more movement classes. And then I was like, okay, these are great. But then people, I kind of started then following like, what moms need me? Like, what all of a sudden you kind of age out where it's like, okay, my daughter's doing gymnastics and soccer shots and people are learning how to swim. Those new moms like still need to meet people in person. So I've also been kind of like just like floating, not like floating and leaving myself, but how can I be of service? And now that's kind of looking a little bit different in different ways.
For sure. And honestly, you did hit the nail on the head with your point. Your point was that when you guys start something and you think your heart is in something, if it feels forced, that's not it. I cannot say
Mhm.
that enough. Hence why your girl has tried like 30 things, right? When it feels forced, it could look so good on Instagram for somebody else. They could be making thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars a month. But I'm going to tell you right now, it will never be you if you're hurting doing it. If you're doing it and
Mhm.
you hate doing it, that is not for you. And just because that person is making $10,000 a month doesn't mean you will just because it's the same business. It always
So
comes down
good.
to being authentically yourself and actually doing something with purpose. I mean, we are moms. We are pulled in so many different
Mhm.
directions every single day. Why would you add one more thing to your plate that you genuinely don't like to do?
Yes,
I
it's so true.
You really honestly need to have a passion behind it because that's going to be what makes it grow. Like look at Stacey here. That's what I want to come back to too. You got that 9 to 5 and I love that you brought up stability.
Mm.
Because I really believe that in my heart of hearts, right? Like the scariest thing in the world is to say, I am going to go all in on myself. And it's scary because will you succeed? I can't promise you that. I had people that come on here that took the jump and thrived. But I've also known people that took the jump and didn't because they didn't have the heart in it to make it thrive. So nobody can decide that but you. But at the same exact point, having that stability of the 9 to 5, it's a true feeling. I feel it all the time. It's like, okay, like, it's just to have that there, especially as moms. So thank you for bringing attention to that. But now that I love the fact that you did have that, you came right back to doing something that you were passionate about.
Yes. And I honestly swear it's so interesting when you say it back to me, how like obvious it is that I think the learning piece here is like, because I have my job and I do genuinely like love my job,
Mhm.
I'm able to like be so creative with pop up and play because, and I honestly think that like that makes it
Mhm.
more authentic. Going back to your word that you keep using, it's like, duh, I have nothing to lose, everything to gain. And yes, like the people, I swear, you know what? You brought it up. So I will definitely, like, I totally remember this thinking when I went to like start the idea of like, oh, kids' curriculum, what could I bring to the table? It was like, oh, because that could be, what was trendy then? Passive. The word.
Love that passive word. It is
Now,
never truly passive.
100%. Exactly. And like, I was just like, that's so that's like not like me. And I'm so interpersonal that like when I'm going to make a PDF, like, and granted, people, like you said, people do it. This is not anything to do with product. I actually, for a while, oh my God, I will admit this. Brittany, we are admitting things. I will admit, I literally told my friend in her car, I was in her passenger seat car, and I'm like, I'm like, literally, can I just be the girl that like makes clay earrings? Why can't that be me?
No, I know.
So my point is that like it's sometimes also like rose colored glasses. It's like, okay, I obviously everyone in 2025, sadly or amazingly, who knows what way you're gonna go, like it's nice to have a little extra cash on the side or a side business or
100%.
anything for that matter, or even a hobby, like whatever. I don't want to make it like super businessy, but the reason I say that is because I knew there was something inside of me that like was itching to create that I just wanted myself. I wanted her to look me at the face and be like, "You're really good at soap." And I'll be like, "Going to sell soap." Like, why can't I just be the earring person or the soap person? And you know what though? At the end of the day, it's like my skills are so interpersonal. There was no hope there for that,
Yep,
honestly.
there's
So it's
not.
really just like following like, what lights you up truly? And, like, where you feel, like, on fire. Like, even just talking to you
100%.
about it, I'm hyper. Like, when am I ever hyper at 6:45 PM?
I'm ready for like it's honestly, guys, for everybody listening, we record these podcasts at night, and let me tell you, the energy these women bring to the podcast gives me energy, or else your girl would be like
Yeah,
ready and like
so
in bed.
sleepy. So sleepy. So it's just really interesting when you look back at it, you're like, "All right, well, obviously, that just wasn't who I am, really."
Exactly. And I love that you're bringing that up too, because honestly, like clearly I've been on this journey, right? So it's been since 2017 that I started like hardcore going into on this journey of trying to find a space. And what I found through my findings was there's different categories of
Mhm.
businesses and people, right? Like the helper, like you are the helper, right? There's a
Aw.
strategist, there's a creative, there's a and all of them come to having different type of jobs that they will thrive in. So, and I
Mhm.
know so many moms on here that they're like, I just don't know what to do. That I've been there. I get it.
Mhm.
I've tried so many things to figure out what I really like to do. Stacy here was going to make a curriculum and now is doing different things, right? So I
Yeah.
just want to tell you guys that I do have a free Find Your Perfect Hustle, completely free. Go
That's
in,
fun.
take your quiz, and you will find what you are passionate about, because that is going to be something that is really going to help and save you a lot of time.
Yeah, and also just, like, identify it for you, like,
Yep.
back to yourself. Like, sometimes you just need to, like, hear it or, what is that? Like, confirm it for yourself?
Confirm. So
Yeah.
let's get back to pop up and play.
Yes!
I
Okay.
I am loving this conversation, and honestly, like, it's so funny. That's why I love having these so authentic, because we could have had all these conversations
Yeah, like,
before
where was
talking
that?
on
We
here.
couldn't even have planned like,
Yeah, no,
I don't
that's what
know.
I mean. So that's why I love having them, because it's like, where do we go? We don't know. Now, I want to ask you a question. So you said that you had your 9 to 5 and then you started back up in the spring. So now are you still teaching?
Yes.
Okay, so you're still teaching and we're including this in it. So now having this, I love that. I love that it's like a hustle. Is the pop up and play, are you making money from it, or this is all still free?
So, it was free. I am now, like, making money from it,
Amazing.
but it was free all of the play dates until this past summer. This past summer, I did a summer series and then I took a break. So that summer, the yoga studio gave me like compensated me and the people got like a free pass for
Amazing.
yoga. So we were trying to like both help each other. Like, okay, this is a kid person, yoga studio. Like, how can we make this work for both communities. And that was really fun. And she's like one of my good friends now
Love
over
it.
at This is Yoga NJ in Seaside Park. Anyway, and so then they were all free after that as well when I started up in the spring. And then this past summer, she asked me to do it again. And then I was like, you know what? Like this is real. Like this is what I'm passionate about. I'm gonna kick off the ground running and also bring to the table like what I am passionate about because for a while, all the free ones were so great and like they're like I will literally cherish that stage of my life like forever. But now I'm like, okay, well, like, I'm actually gonna, like, lead these now. Like, they're gonna be movement classes, they're gonna look like fitness classes in studios, or they're gonna look like baby circle time in freer spaces. Let's just roll with it. So in the summer, I talked to some, like, friends who have already done stuff or just, like, kind of pick people's brains, and I just submitted my New Jersey LLC, got insurance, and was like, "Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it."
I love that. I love that. So now what I'm thinking is that you have a full-time business. You have a new LLC. I mean, I'm sorry, you have a full-time job. You have a new LLC. You're a mom. What boundaries are you setting for yourself so that you don't burn out in life in general?
That's a really good question, and I've honestly had to, like, figure that out myself.
Mhm.
Because for a little bit there, I was bothering because obviously, like, I travel and that's, like, hence, like, the pop-up part, and I was trying to, like my husband as my soundboard was like, "Okay, you're doing great." I'm like, "Oh, but, like, who should I reach out to next?" I was kind of tripping myself out a little bit, and he's like, "You're like, you just asked me, you're gonna burn out." So I think the boundaries in the summer and then that I have tried to stick true to this fall so far is okay, this like 3 places
Mhm.
and just showing up there and trying to tell myself and this is where the crazy mindset is, right? It's like telling myself that like that's thriving, like that's
It
also
is.
evolving in itself. Because part of me is like, okay, like I should reach out to other people. And by people I mean
Businesses.
I need a hosting spot. Because there's just so much that I had to learn, like as far as parks and things.
Mhm.
Renting gazebos are really expensive. And if you want to charge, I mean, for like even birthday parties, people know you have to like rent out local places. So those like hiccups were along the way. So I've already made really good connections with a couple of local businesses, and I'm all just generating those ideas for those. And boundary wise, as far as my mental health, I just focus on the next play date.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Stacey, you're dropping so many nuggets of
Wait,
wisdom.
really? I'm
Yes, I love it
like,
so
does
much.
that make sense?
It does, but also what you just brought to light too is
Mm,
that you have a thriving community and a business with 3 different vendors. I think a lot of us moms come into this with an automatic burnout as 3 is not enough. We need 10, we need
mm,
15, we need to get all of them. And I
mhm,
think that's where we can fall, right? Like, is if we're so focused on the next thing and we're not staying in a state of gratitude for what we already have,
mm,
that's where we can trip up a little bit and hurt ourselves. Not it doesn't matter about anybody else. When at the end of the day, when you're running your own business and when you're a mom, in general, if your cup is not full,
right,
how could you possibly fill anybody else's cup?
for
And I
sure.
think, how you're doing it so great is that you have found 3 solid businesses that you are constantly working with, that you are creating these groups with, that you were able to form an LLC. And I think sometimes we need to hear things like that. And
Mm,
it's 3. Okay. So for
yeah,
every mom listening, it is 3. So if you have 1, you are doing
yes.
great.
For sure. Oh my gosh. I can't say that enough actually. Like the things that like the biggest takeaways is like, yeah, just like not even just do the thing, but like you can do the thing, being authentic to use that word again, but it also what's the word when you are like transparent, I guess is the word. You're being truthful, like, you can do it with a Google form. You can do it with I just tried a brand new website just because my link tree, which is the only way I share, I only have Instagram right now, and I'm collecting emails, I will say, but, like, just like, I don't know, at one point, honestly, I thought I just should, so I was like, "Okay, any email, please." Let's be honest, I have no idea. Sometimes you have to okay, this is actually the same thing. You sometimes just have to, like, take the next best step and be like, okay, well, like, what can I do to make the event, the play date, the movement class happen like next week? It really can be that small. And don't get me wrong, sometimes like I had a really good July. This July, I reached back out to one of the coffee places that the summer before they weren't really sure, and I was like feeling really good, and I was like, "Hey, like,
Vegan.
here I am." And you know what? It really worked out, and they're wonderful. But the reason I brought that up is because that's July. First of all, I was obviously off. I teach, duh. And people maybe I thought summer was gonna be really like turnout because like who wants to commit? I don't even know if I like to commit, like
Yeah.
okay, whatever. And some of them were really high, like 25 people, like
Amazing.
25 moms. So like if they're bringing grandma and their two kids, a lot of people. So then six, like tomorrow, seven. It's interesting. It's like a numbers game, but it's like you have to think those are literally humans. Like, are you
Human.
kidding me? Are you like? And also, when you see a room of six, I've seen a room of three. It's like the best. And some like I'm not joking. Like the numbers don't matter, and you have to remember that at the end of the day. Like,
Yep.
don't psych yourself out.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
A couple of you always just keep dropping the nuggets to come back. So, I love that she said that she didn't start with a website because if anybody has been here since day one of the Money Hungry Mama, we all know I did not either. I am now months into this with a ton of emails, a ton of followers, and I'm just starting a website. So, you don't need to do things that cost money off like if you start a business today, that was one of my biggest fails when I started all these businesses. Every single one of them, I started a website. Do you know how much money I lost on websites that I
Wow.
just let go? Like, and of course the last business that is like this, my second that I'm actually keeping is the one where I get smart and I'm like, and now I gotta actually do a website. Right. So you live and you learn. But
That's cute.
you don't have to do that. But I will say right off the bat, 100% collect those emails. I don't care if you're starting
Okay.
Beehive, Beehiiv, pretty sure, or HIVV, one of those, is a completely free, up into
Mm.
2,500 emails newsletter. If that is all you start with, you will thrive. And it is completely free. That is exactly how the Money Hungry Mama started. Was
Wow.
a
Okay. Thanks.
beehive,
That's a good tip.
yeah, of newsletters. So this way, that could be something that you have on your website. Because if you're just collecting emails, that's all you need it for, right? Like you're not selling anything else. So if you are an in-person business and you want to start a newsletter, which everybody should have a newsletter, even though I know we all are whatever with emails, everybody should have a newsletter
Mhm.
because you have important things to say. You want people to see your events. You want people to know different things. And you can put tips of movements for the kids right
Mhm.
there, right?
Yeah, that's a great point. Yes, yes, yes. Actually, yeah, I just recently started like emailing those people
Hmm.
to say, like, hey, this, like, now that I have events more frequently. But thank you. That's actually such a good idea. Because I could also like show my personality to people that can't make it. Because that is a thing.
Exactly.
In person, you're dealing with also some genuine physical hardships or whatever. So thank you so much. That's really helpful.
Yeah, no problem. And then in it too, what I love about Beehive is that you click subscribers and it's going to email everybody. It's going to blast email everybody. So you don't have to sit in there and do all the Gmails and do whatever and all the newsletters stay. So it's like a website of all of your past newsletters. So anybody that
Oh,
clicks into the website, they're going to be led to all of your past newsletters.
yeah, that's actually, yeah,
And it's completely free.
that's
It is
insane.
completely
That is
free
insane.
up to 2,500 subscribers. So that is why I'm saying, like, there are things out there. And if you're ever like, oh my gosh, is there a free this? Text me,
Yeah,
DM
that's
me,
a
let me know. I will
yes,
help
yes.
you. I've had more than enough practice with what's free and what's not. All right.
You're so cute.
It's too much. It's too much. But yeah, no, for sure. If you don't have a beehive or a newsletter thing, that's 100% something that I would tell you to do. So now that you're starting and now, this is why I love this podcast too, because it's not always moms that are 10 years down the line. We got moms that are in the fresh thick of it. And this just makes my heart so happy. So now with Pop Up and Play, right? What is your 1 year goal?
Oh my gosh. I have a super big vision of like a kids wellness day retreat to me. Like, I love retreats, but I think I'm calling myself out. I think I'm using that as a buzzword.
Yeah.
Like, let me just be completely honest. I want to like so many people are doing such cool things with like moms nowadays and kids and sensory and music. Like I want to have, and actually there's role models because they just did something like this in Homedale, I think. They had like a backyard. So girls, whoever did that, literally, I like know who they are, but I don't want to botch their names or their Instagram ats whatever. That's like dreamy to me, to be honest. That is so dreamy. My year goal, like personally, I just want to keep showing up for any mom who like wants this. And that sounds like boring. Like the glittery answer was the one I just gave you. The fun, like, and honestly, like tinsel hair, like that would be there. Like that's the vibe.
Oh, I love it.
Um, but I really just want to like keep honoring any mom like who wants to like kill an hour with me. If I can be that person for them, like that's like literally worth gold. And the kids, I just freaking love kids. So there's just like that too. There was something, oh, I do have like a goal right
Okay.
now when we're doing this podcast. It's September. One of my most magical memories of Playdate history was I took for my childhood at this old school lake house where like everyone in your family came and you like all shared rooms, whatever. It was like literally nice, like day camp. If you can imagine it, we did a thing called like a lantern walk. So like not last December, the December before. Goodness, I like just made little cups, hole punched them, and we like all met and we walked the boardwalk together. And I cannot wait to do that again. Like I'm like counting down the minutes to like, I guess it's our time to plan it now for like
Yeah.
December or even January. But like those things are like on my radar of just like making the magic happen.
I
I'm just
love
so
it.
excited.
That is so cute. I love that.
Thanks.
Staci, what does being a money hungry mama mean to you?
I think it means just like believing that your whatever you have inside, whether it's through motherhood, through business, whatever you're like itching to create, you should do that. Like follow it through. And if that means like making 30, what'd you say, 30 side hustles until you get one that sticks. But I think like if you're sitting there and you're scrolling to try to find the answer is literally inside of you, whether it's Brittany's free like little tutorial or not. I think money hungry to me means like you're gonna try it and you're gonna go after something because to be honest, even if you don't, that's so much answer. That's so what you're not getting is also very telling. You know, I feel like even if I never started the let's make a kids curriculum passive thing, I would always be wondering that. And yeah, I just feel like follow through with like a small goal for yourself. Just like whatever, if that's something that you want to do.
Yeah. I think it's so true. And I think like, it just is a reoccurring theme on this podcast. Like needing to get money is something that I see a lot. And I am
Hmm.
all here for you. I will give you as many tips I possibly can to try to get you, as much money as you can, as you fast as you can. But then if there's a fire in you for whatever reason, that's like, I want to chase this. I want to do this. That version is going to go really far.
Yeah. Wait, can I actually say something that's like very interesting?
Of course.
Mom and the hungry part and the
Yeah.
mom money part. I have found, and maybe you have advice, or if we don't have time, that's fine too.
No.
I think it's very interesting and I wonder if people are in this space, moms, and also like moms starting a creative outlet, passive, whatever passion project. It's interesting because to show up, you have one side of it, which is like community,
Mm-hmm.
which is indescribable,
Yep.
priceless.
What you need.
The other side is like offering a service, whether you play music, do like walks with vendors. I mean, people are doing things that are time and money. I can't even believe I'm gonna say this. I think it's really hard as a mom to like also be okay with charging moms.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not joking.
No. No. Okay.
But I'm
Hold
not
on.
joking.
Hold on. Hold your horses. Okay. Hold your horses. This is exactly how I felt from day one. And this is why, like, I have my own online networking for all moms in business. It's $25 a month. We do 3 Zooms. We have a Slack. $25 a month. And I'm only even charging because I don't want to be out of money for hosting a community, because it is a heck of a lot of money to host this community. And that is why, like, I had some of my friends be like, "Are you absolutely nuts? Communities like this are $80 and up."
Price is up insane. I'm gonna join like 5 seconds from now.
No,
Not
but
gonna lie.
in general, like, I'm not in it, and I will say this until I'm blue in the face. I am not in it to make money from moms. I am in it to help as many moms as I possibly can. From all of the thousands of dollars I have spent in learning, I will literally give it all away. But number one, I don't want to be out any money. That's why it's as low as I could possibly go. Two, I eventually want to hire outside really big names to come in, and they
Mhm.
will want money. So I
Yes,
will
yes.
need to save this in a little savings account to get them in. But my biggest goal, and like exactly what you said, is to get the podcast up so big that it's brands, it's things that have money. And they'll be like, can you sponsor Nike in your 100%? And then I split the cost. I will take it. And then I want to make scholarships for moms in business.
Insane. Oh my
That's what I
gosh.
want to do more than anything. Like, that is literally, so it's so funny that you say that, because it is so true. It is so true and hard for moms to charge moms money. But at the same exact time, this is different. This is not from me. Everything I said is true. Mine is a different scenario. At the same exact, I have a bigger fish, right? For the mom that's sitting there that doesn't have the brands coming, that doesn't have the bigger fish, you need to also remember that you are worth money. You are worth your time. If you're making those beautiful earrings, if you're creating this community, do you know how much legwork Staci has to do to call
Yeah,
the events, to set it up, to do those things? You are still worth your time. That's not putting moms out. Staci's events aren't $150 and she's completely, robbing anybody. That's not what this is. If you're it's still your time, right?
yeah, for
There's
sure.
a difference of, if there is not a bigger fish and you are not out here just to soak up money because you are evil and you're thinking that you're going to be able to help us. Because let me tell you right now, there are so many things that I have bought that were a joke. And it's
Interesting.
like,
My friend, that car, when I said I wanted to be the earrings, she was like, people spend money on physical things all the time. Like, you don't need to be like, I think sometimes the worth, if you're an act of service,
Mhm.
if you're doing events or bringing people together, you kind of take the back seat. You're like, oh, well, I'm just like here, like being me. Like, you kind of like take that back seat. And I think in that moment in the car, I was craving a physical,
Mhm.
because to me, it was like, people would see it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Huh,
100%.
that's so
100%.
interesting.
But like, even the moms that come on here that have businesses, the ones that are doing customization, that is still an act of service, right? Like, it's somebody that's coming to you with their vision, and you
Mhm.
are providing their vision. I think it really comes down to realizing, one, that it is your time, right? I know you came here for like a little bit of a, how can we help these moms that are nervous about that? It's still your time. You are
Yeah.
going out of your way to do whatever it is. If you are an amazing painter,
Mhm.
right? You have that art. People will buy that art because they believe in your painting. As
Yeah.
long as you're not out here
Goes back to who
scamming
you are.
people,
Yeah.
like all those passive income courses. Nobody could tell me otherwise, because I
Yeah.
can tell you right now, nothing in life is passive. Even those PDFs that people have to buy, I have a couple of them. You
Mhm.
still gotta market them. If
For
you're not
sure.
marketing
Yeah.
them, nobody's gonna buy them. It's
Mm.
just, a lot of things are smoke and mirrors, and if anybody ever has a question on a course or whatever, I probably took it. So you could just ask me and I'll let you know right off the bat if it's good or not. But in general, as long as you are not being a bad person and you are trying to scam somebody and you are literally just trying to make a buck off of, I usually say moms on here, a mom that's needing that buck,
Mhm.
don't ever
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
value your time.
Yeah, that's like it's a big thing. It's a big like learning, not like learning curve, but just a big mindset shift.
It
And
is.
I think, going back to like that service word, sometimes that like grounds me a little bit, because I'm like, I want to like be of service, like, and that's something that, like, to me, maybe it sounds, honestly, maybe like that sounds corny on a podcast because
No.
it does not sound glamorous. But I think that that grounds me because, like, when I show up at those play dates, like, I am there for those
Yeah.
moms and really there for those kids, like learning the names, like making them follow directions, like every detail is intentional.
Mhm.
And the heart to hearts are intentional, like the eye contact, intentional, So it's like, and but like that stuff, going all the way back to the curriculum, that all those great things, so second nature and so authentic. And it's like, okay, well, like, I'm meant to, like, do this. Like, I'm meant to teach, and maybe and this is just, like, the way teaching in this capacity looks like too, like,
It
a
is.
form of it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and you're walking away with smiling faces for kids, and you're
Mhm.
making that kid's day, and you're making that mom's day just because, we know what it's like. Every
Yeah.
mom knows what it's like to have a bad day where you just wish you had somebody that you can talk to. You just wish
Mhm.
that you can let everything off your chest without being judged. I think, we live in a very scary world where it's very quick to point a
Mhm.
finger with,
Yeah,
we always forget there's three pointing back. So
for
it's
sure.
just something to, what you're doing is providing that safe space.
Mm.
And I think it's a beautiful thing that it's okay to charge for. You're
Yeah.
not making anybody broke. You are also doing your time.
Yeah. Thanks. You're so sweet.
Oh my gosh, Stacey, I feel like I could talk to you for literally hours. And
Wait, I know. We've, like, jumped, went deep.
I love this conversation, and I really think we're gonna definitely have to have a year from now catch up and
Okay,
see all
promise.
of these, all these challenges that you're internally facing right now and seeing how they came out.
Yeah, it's also funny because when we first connected, I didn't know where the I didn't know where we would go. And I'm honestly like kind of surprised because although like I'm doing movement and play classes for kids, a lot of the headspace is like where I am in like the creative, like questioning things. And I just like hope moms out there or even like just like business moms out there are like, oh, okay.
No,
So
it
it's
was
not to be
great.
figured out.
It was amazing. It was literally amazing. You were so raw and real, and it's that's why I love to have and for this like authentic conversations. I literally will not ask questions or really try to figure you out before talking to you on the podcast because everything you hear is not planned. It is raw and is real. Stacey,
That's
where
precious.
can our listeners support you?
Yeah, well, they can support me on Instagram at Pop Up and Play NJ. And yeah, like literally feel free to DM me anything. I'm like, oh my gosh, hi. I'll follow you right back. I'll be like, oh my God, your kids are cute. Come on. And I'm popping up right now in Tom's River, Lynn Heights, right next to Tom's River. And I'm doing some special ones, like ones here and there, to just find like what, where those next like steps will be.
Love
But
it.
right now, yeah, it's been so fun.
I love it. And when her episodes comes out, please feel free to check her show slides because she will have some events that are coming up in there for you to attend. Stacey, it
Thank
has been a
you.
pleasure to have you.
Thanks, Brittany.